as he's crawling out of the house, the girl Mia sees him, and he gives her the keys. He says, "Get out of here, get out of here, go." Walks back into the cabin, closes it, and he takes the double-barreled shotgun and he shoots the the gallon of gasoline. You know, those big red containers of gasoline. Shoots that, and then the house explodes. Not entirely, but there's like a small explosion. You know, that goes through the windows, but it doesn't blow up the entire house entirely. And after that, earlier in the film, I have to mention this, they establish that there's the main demon thing has to feast on 5 souls. If you count the girl at the beginning of the movie that we saw before all this shit happened as number 1, and then 4 other people that were killed throughout the course of this film, not killed but possessed, including the girl Mia, you get the 5 souls. And if that happens, then this one evil abomination thing will come out of the ground, and the clouds will start raining blood. And that's what happens, because once the blonde gets possessed, that's what happens. After the house explodes, it starts fucking raining blood. Okay. So if you ever heard that there was like a ton of blood in this movie, this is where it's at. It's mainly at the end, where it literally starts falling from the fucking sky. And you see this weird, and the demonic creature finally comes out, and it's really nothing special. It's just a woman, a demonic looking woman. Nothing too spectacular. And Mia sees this. She tries to leave, but she's so fucking jittery that she drops the keys, and the demon bitch crashes through the window. She gets out through the other side, and she crawls through this hole that leads into the work shed. And she sees the chainsaw there, because she's got to use a chainsaw, because that was in the original movie. Grabs it, but it's empty. Fills it up with some gas, and then gets into like this little crawl space in between the wall of the work shed, if I remember correctly. And the demon bitch gets in there and grabs his machete and starts stabbing the wall. And Mia gets a fucking machete on her like kneecap. Like, here's her kneecap, here's the machete. It goes through the wall, and it like gets stuck there, and then pulled back right on her kneecap. She gets out of there, goes behind the car on this. She's like the car's in the middle. Here's the girl, and here's the demon bitch. And Mia finally gets the fucking chainsaw revved up. But after she does that, the demonic creature like pushes the car, picks the car up, and not picks it up, but like pushes it over so that it falls on its side. And Mia goes like to sort of roll out of the way, but this car falls on her so quickly that like her hand gets caught underneath the car. So she's got to basically, and this demon creature chick is taking her goddamn time too, because she starts walking slowly over towards Mia while her hand is down there, and she basically yanks it out, and her hand has been cut off, like ripped off, you know. And she uses the chainsaw to fight back against this thing, basically knocks it down, and she's like, "Eat this," or something like that. And even though she's got a bloody stump now where her hand used to be, she sticks the chainsaw into the demon bitch's face, and blood splatters everywhere, and she cuts the fucking thing down the middle. And that's it, it's dead. This demonic abomination that was supposed to be all powerful and whatever the fuck they said it was taken down by a chainsaw to the face and split down the middle. And then it stops raining blood. And then she finds like this necklace that her brother gave her at the beginning of the film. She puts it on, she starts walking, and that's the end of the movie. And that was Evil Dead. And like I said, it just really wasn't much to run home about. The main characters did not care, did not give a fuck about any of them. And there's no reason to. I didn't even remember 3 of them. Did not even remember their fucking names. There's the black girl, there's the blonde guy with the glasses, there's the blonde chick who's the lead guy's girlfriend, and there's the lead guy, and then there's the lead girl. Lead girl, for the most part, she's either whimpering or acting crazy because she's going through withdrawal from drug addiction. The lead guy doesn't really do much of anything until the end. You get the blonde guy with the glasses, who's kind of the voice of reason. I kind of like that he's, figuring out that this has nothing to do with drug addiction. It's the fucking book that's doing this. But the other characters, like the blonde chick, who's the lead guy's girlfriend. I don't even remember her fucking name. I don't even remember if they mentioned her name. They probably did like once, but I forgot what it was. She's got like no dialogue. Just there to be body count. And I had no reason to care about any of this shit. And most of the gore effects aren't that impressive. I've seen much better shit than this in better movies. And the best gore effect is at the very end with the chainsaw cutting that demon shit down the middle. But by then, I've stopped caring. I mean, it's not even... And when the girl rips her hand off, I will admit that was cool too. But that's it. And that happens at the very fucking end. Everything else was not that impressive. It really wasn't. Even when the girl chops her arm off with the fucking electric meat slicer. I've seen people hack their arms off before. It's not that impressive anymore. So really, there's not even that much gore in this movie, except at the very end, where it literally starts raining fucking blood. Like I said, nothing about the movie really impressed me, but nothing about the movie really pissed me off either. It was just sort of there. And I'm also, like, there's little nitpicks, like, really nobody can smell the fucking dead cat carcasses hanging from the fucking ceiling in the basement. Nobody can smell that, but the fucking, junkie. No offense to anybody out there who's ever had a problem with drug addiction or knows someone who's had a problem with drug addiction. I don't mean that. It's just sort of an expression. And who the fuck were those people at the beginning of the film? I guess the guy in the beginning was supposed to be the archaeologist who found the Book of the Dead. Okay, I can go with that, but who the fuck are all these other people? All these other hillbillies and this old chick that's speaking a strange language? Who the fuck are they? Just random people that he got to help him with this shit? And if they're going to go through the trouble of wrapping this book in barbed wire so nobody would read it, how about this? Instead of leaving it in the fucking cabin, why don't you go take it somewhere and bury it? And drop fucking cement over it so that no one finds it ever again, instead of just leaving it there in that cabin. I mean, they must have seen pictures, because there's pictures of the people that own it, the main characters. There's pictures of them, so they must have known that somebody owned it and that maybe somebody would come back to it. And you're probably wondering, well, why didn't they just burn the book? The book, unlike in the original, it can't be burned. They even try to burn it. The blonde guy with the glasses tries to burn it in the movie, and he can't. The book just won't burn. So that's not going to happen like in the original film. But I'm saying, like, why didn't the people at the beginning, if they were so concerned that they wrote, don't read this book, why didn't they just bury it? Why did they think that just wrapping it in barbed wire, leaving it in this fucking cabin was going to be enough? Because then there wouldn't be a movie. But still, if this was a better movie, I could probably ignore that. But since it's a mediocre one, that kind of bothered me a little bit. It's like, why the fuck didn't they just burn it? Bury it? And also, the biggest problem with this movie is I wasn't expecting it to be scary, but compared to the original, it's not creepy. The original's really creepy too, with all those shots of the camera moving through the woods in the original were really good. In this, because a lot of that stuff was also done at night. Most of those shots where the camera moves through the woods really fast, that happens during the day, so it doesn't have the same effect. It's not nearly as atmospheric as the first one was. The first one had a really creepy atmosphere. Okay, sorry about that. My mom came in, but she left. So like I was saying, this remake just lacks the creepiness of the original film. The film had a really creepy atmosphere that really helped amp up the horror level. Plus, the demonic people in this, they don't look as good as they did in the original film. Especially the chick that ends up in the cellar in the original. That shit was really good. It looked It looked really well. Like, you could tell that, as the movie progressed, she got more and more fucked up, and it worked really well. Here, if you've seen the trailer, that's pretty much it. That's as bad as she gets. And of course, there's little nitpicks I mentioned earlier about the cats and, why didn't they just burn the fucking books, or the book, I should say. Do I recommend the film? proceed with caution. You might like this more than I did. It's not a it's not a very hyped up recommendation, but I don't know. You might like this more than me. Do I recommend seeing it in the theater? I don't know. That's up to you guys. If you're willing to spend the money and take a shot with this. But me personally, this was really nothing. I kind of regret going to go see it in the theater, but I take a lot of chances when I go to the movies. That's why I prefer to go like earlier, so I don't pay as much when I go to the matinee. It's like $2 cheaper, but still. So yeah, I mean that's it. This is going to be multiple part review. I can already tell because it's 2 different fucking videos that I had to make. So yeah, it's definitely not as good as the original. I didn't think it was awful, but I didn't really like it that much either. I didn't care about anybody. And not that I always need to care about the characters to have fun with the movie. In fact, I got one right here. This is a movie that I enjoy even if the characters are not that great. Demons. The characters aren't assholes. I just mean there's nothing about them that I thought was awesome. Like a movie with awesome characters would be something like Tremors, or Tremors 2. Demons. This movie right here, this is just a really fun movie. It's short. It goes by at a really fast pace. It's got an awesome 80s heavy metal soundtrack. And it's got a fucking awesome climax involving a motorcycle and a samurai sword. Okay? Not to give too much away, but it's awesome. It's a really fucking awesome scene. And I just, this is just a fun movie. But this one also doesn't have characters that I thought were spectacular. They were just sort of there. I mean, it's an Italian exploitation movie. That's kind of to be expected. And there's shit in this movie that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like how this whole shit started and, But I just have a lot of fun with this one. This is just one of those movies that's, you turn your brain off and you just go for a ride. And it was just really fun. And I can't really, this is a movie I would recommend checking out. I can't really say the same for, Evil Dead. Evil Dead was just okay. I saw it. It was done. I left and that's it. And, I'm probably going to forget about it in a couple weeks. That's why I did the review now, because if I waited any longer, I would have forgot about it. And yeah, there's an after credit scene where you see Bruce Campbell and he says groovy. Okay, whatever. But yeah, man, that's all I got. Didn't love it, didn't hate it. But probably would never watch it again. But that's just me. Anyway, see you guys next time, and stay tuned for whatever's coming next. Later.